Hi everyone, welcome back to Cabin Crafts and Simple Living. And today I thought I would talk to you about something that I've sold for a very long time at the shop. I've sold it in my store, even when I was back in the antique mall years ago before I had a physical shop. And that is American Heritage chocolate. This stuff is divine. I've been selling it for a while, and I thought I would do a little history lesson on chocolate in colonial America. I thought you all might enjoy that. So American Heritage Chocolate, this is made by the Mars Company. They compiled 18th century chocolate recipes. I think whenever I first started selling this, it was over 10 years ago. They said that the recipe was mostly from a 1753 recipe. So it's made with all natural ingredients. It is fair trade chocolate, and it is an authentic 18th century recipe. So if you want to know what chocolate tasted like in the 18th century, this is it. I first got this at Colonial Williamsburg back in 2014. So it's been 11 years ago that I first got it. And then at that time, I started selling it in my booth at the antique mall to go with my early American theme of things that I sold. But anyway, has spices in it. So early American chocolate in colonial America was very spicy, like it would have been, like Hispanic folks still make it spicy. So it has, let's see what the ingredients are. It's got some really good ingredients in here. It is 57% cacao, first of all. It's a dark chocolate. And then it has chocolate, sugar, cocoa butter, cinnamon, anise, nutmeg, salt, and here's the little kick, red pepper. Now, I don't like spicy food very well. I don't tolerate it very well. I don't like hot things, things that are very hot. If I eat a salsa, I use mild salsa. I do like it. I just can't take a lot of heat. But this is not hot. When you eat it, you feel a little kick of something, but you're like, what is that? It's not enough to make you think you need a drink or something right away. But anyway, chocolate is over 3,500 years old. It is native to the Americas, so South America. Of course, we all know the Aztecs used it in their as a ceremonial drink, and it would have been a drink. They didn't eat it like this necessarily in solid form. They were using it, making it in a drink, and they had a stone that they would roast the cacao beans on, and then they had a stone that was called a metate, and they would kind of like have a round pestle, and it's concave in shape. And if you go to Colonial Williamsburg, you can see them demonstrate making this in their kitchens sometimes, and they constantly grind that into that rough lava looking stone, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until it makes a paste and you start seeing the cocoa butter, and then they add sugar to it, and that's how they made cocoa in America in the 18th century. It came to the colonies in the 17th century, so to America, colonial America, it came in the 1600s, likely on ships. Sea captains were starting to trade it. It would have gone to Spain first because, of course, Spain, the conquistadors, they conquered South America, and they took this cacao back to Spain with them, and Spanish monks started making the chocolate into the form we kind of recognize today, adding sugar to it because it's very bitter normally. The people in the colonies mostly drank it as, like I said, a hot drink. They weren't eating it in solid form. They were drinking it, and they would add spices to it like cinnamon, ginger, and even chili for flavor, and it would have been a hot drink. It was considered medicinal and wholesome, and it was believed to aid digestion, prolong longevity, provide energy, and it made it a popular drink for colonists and soldiers alike. Now, on the note of Revolutionary soldiers, I found this interesting. Chocolate was given as a ration to Revolutionary War soldiers. Washington used it as a form of payment to some of his soldiers, and it would have been like in a solid form, and they would have made it into a drink. Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson deemed it medicinal. In fact, some of the doctors of the time would prescribe chocolate for stomach issues and things like that. So I thought it was interesting that it had some service in the Revolutionary War, and that it was used as both a ration and a form of money. By the late 17th and early 18th century, they had chocolate houses in colonial America and coffee houses. So again, if you go to Colonial Williamsburg, they have a place called Charlton Coffee House, and you go into the coffee house. You have to, sign up for it and go in. They take you in like 20 people at a time. And when you go inside the coffee house, now this is not like a tavern or a pub. They even had like a separate pretty room with wallpaper and carpet for like a ladies' parlor. And you could either get tea or chocolate or coffee. And so when we went as tourists, we could have the choice of getting coffee, tea, or American Heritage hot chocolate. And so they also sell the tea that I sell here in the store, Oliver Pluff. Oliver Pluff has their brand of Colonial Boohee that they sell in Colonial Williamsburg, and I have that here in the store too. So anyway, it started getting really popular in the 18th century. And then, of course, in 1773, we had that famous little tea party called the Boston Tea Party. And we started throwing tea overboard. Americans were boycotting tea. We're not going to drink this. And so what did they choose to drink instead? Well, they drank some herbal teas that they called Liberty teas, like peppermint and, some of your mints and some of your herbs. And they would make an herbal tea. And they would also started drinking a lot of coffee and chocolate. And so that's why America for such a long time has been a coffee drinking nation and a chocoholic nation versus the rest of Europe and the old world that really still adheres to a tea, like it's tradition, a tea tradition. So chocolate and coffee really became popular in early America because of that Boston Tea Party, because of the boycott. So anyway, the American Heritage chocolate, that's what they were drinking, is the spicy chocolate. Now, they would make chocolate, like I said, as a hot drink. And they would also, so if you go down to Mexico and other parts of South America, and they make you a hot chocolate, they have what's called a molinillo. I think I'm saying that right. And it's that frothing tool that they will put in the hot chocolate and froth it and make it frothy and foamy. And so that's how it was made down in South America and Mexico. At first, chocolate was a luxury, of course. It was very expensive. Wealthy colonists like George and Martha Washington enjoyed chocolate. In fact, I have the cacao tea here in the shop that I sell from Oliver Pluff. Martha Washington drank cacao tea for her breakfast, and a lot of times hot chocolate was a breakfast drink. They would drink it with breakfast, the hot chocolate. So it was kind of like coffee. You have your coffee in the morning with your breakfast, or you can have hot chocolate. In the North, chocolate was processed and consumed by enslaved laborers, and in the South too, and it was becoming a hot commodity with an estimated 1/3 of Virginia's elite consuming it. So it was processed by slaves. Now, not all of it, but some of it was processed by slaves. So just so you know, we have to throw that in nowadays. But anyway, I just thought that this was really interesting. I thought you all would enjoy a short little history of chocolate, and I sell the chocolate in my store and online. Now, I didn't used to sell it online because in the summertime I didn't want it to get hot and melt. So in the summer, you might want to think about that. If you want to try to order it, you might get melty chocolate. So that might not be so good. But you could always order the cacao tea, and that won't melt. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on chocolate in colonial America. And if you want to buy some, it's still cool months right now. You can go to www.scoshop.com, and I will put that in the description. These are $1.95 a piece. It's a pretty good hunk of chocolate, square of chocolate. And you know what I found? This is really this is a weird side note that I discovered. I was in the store one day and I forgot to bring any lunch or anything with me. And somebody might be able to explain this to me, but I got really hungry and I ate one tablet of this chocolate. and my hunger craving went away. I was satisfied. I didn't want any more chocolate because it's not real sweet. It's not like, you know, Hershey's or Snickers or something like that. But it literally took away my hunger, and it took away any craving for anything. So it's like, wow, 60 calories. Maybe this is a new diet. I don't know. The American Heritage chocolate diet, maybe. I don't know. It's weird. But I've noticed that. So I did it again one time when I was hungry, and I had the same effect. So I don't know what it is about this, but it takes away your hunger, and it takes away cravings. So there you go. Maybe you could get it just for eat it before dinner and have a before dinner mint with American Heritage chocolate. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and comment. That helps me out a lot. And also, don't forget I have the other channel, Simply Devoted, if you like devotionals. I don't mix the two because people were like wanting only the devotional or only the craft. So I've separated them. So if you like a devotional, once in a while I put a devotional up on Simply Devoted. So thank you very much again for watching. God bless you all. Have a great day and have some American Heritage chocolate. Bye-bye.